All right, welcome to the second class of week 2, everybody. Programming Logic and Design 1 for PRG102GA. All right, so tonight we're going to cover the announcements, which are make sure to please turn in all assignments. And if I've given you any feedback for correction, please take advantage of that. Not only does it give you extra practice, but it gives you extra points. Today's class, we're going to be covering more on coding. What is it? What are some of the things we can look forward to? All right, any questions so far?
No.
All right, then we're going to go ahead and start. All right, yesterday we spoke about 3 different types of strings, correct? Not strings, but 3 different styles of things, right?
Yes.
What were they?
Sequence, loop, and situational.
Okay, we'll go with that for now. All right, so sequential is just like this, step to step to step, correct? Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, so we're going to just actually arrange that and send it to the back. All right, so that's what it looks like, correct? All right, now the next one was, what'd you say?
Selection. Selection.
Selection. That's going too far. Let's try this again. 3 coding styles, or what were they called? They weren't schemas.
Structures.
Okay. Sequence, selection, and loop. Don't you hate when I pull something like that and make you think?
Not at all.
All right, so a loop would be what? How would I do a loop?
Well, you start with the first step, and then you go to the next, but then it continues around, and then you have a third step, or it's basically a circle. So that one, no, yeah. And then the next one would go over to the right of that one. Yeah, and then you would get rid of that bottom square rectangle. Yes, and then that one would go back up to the top one.
Okay, so, all right, so we're starting to look like this, right? Well, let's line that up so it looks better. This one would go to here. So like that.
And you'd probably get rid, yeah. Yes.
Okay, so that's a selection.
I think that's more of the loop.
Okay. So how would you draw the other one?
The other one would probably have a left side as well as the right side. And it wouldn't loop back up to the top. It would be a split in the middle. That would be like a one or the other.
Ah, the selection. So it's kind of like what?
It's like picking, it's like your storybook.
So how's it different from this?
Because this one, the loop actually goes, I actually don't know if that bottom rectangle goes onto the loop one. Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do here, we're going to copy that one. So this one kind of builds off of this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that it would be like this. It goes up to there, right? So that way it's similar. So now the other one, there's a couple ways. It could be a choice too, because that's what it is a choice, right?
A selection, yes.
Like that.
Mm-hmm.
But actually what we're going to do is we're going to bring those back temporarily. Because what we need to do, make it kind of square. Because it's going to come down from there to here. That one's going to come down. Well, actually, we don't even need that. We're going to do this. That one's going to go to right here because they both come out to the same thing, right? To the end of the book, for example. Right?
Yes.
Okay. That will touch that. And that will come back up to here. Right. And that'll go down to there. All right, so that is the third one, right? This is the choice where they both come out to the end. It's not always the same outcome, so they could go different directions. But in a choose your own adventure, it would be like this. But if it was something else, it could also, well, here, we're going to copy this. Right here. And actually, we're going to take that. So there's the three styles. All right, so we've combined them here. We're going to get rid of that temporarily and go like this so that I have the same size to work with. All right, now, so I could take it, so it goes out further. And these two are pretty much gone to two different options, right? So those are the same thing, just different outcome, same outcome. The end of the book through a different path, right?
Yes.
So this makes sense. Okay, now, Or honestly, the other one will probably be close to this one in that now there's probably like 3 or 4 of those to here and 3 or 4 of them there before they come back. Whoops. So there's like 2, 3, 3, 4. I mean, there's like many options before they hit the end of the book, right? That way it's a choose your own adventure fully. Okay, so these two are the same. This one's the loop, right? This one's what?
The selection.
Selection. And this one?
Is a sequence.
Sequence, yes. All right, now, looking at that, those are our 3 styles. Remember, as shown here, they come together. Now, how would I make this one come together? Well, you just do this. All right, so we're going to delete that one. All right, now what I'm going to do is put this one right here. Zoom in, down, 0. Okay, so now I've chosen to go on to this next step. So now I just added a second sequence, a second loop, right? Until it comes out to this. And eventually we're out of loops, depending on the project, and we come to the end, right? So that's the program. That is the loop. So we hit loop until this is a certain thing. Then we go to here, go to here. Oh, we're at another loop till it hits a certain thing. And we go to here, and then we end, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we've basically put all these together now, except for this one. So now to add that one into there, we would do this. Correct? So now they're all together. All of them show in this one. Correct?
Yes.
All right. So that's how this flows. You build upon each other. It's just building blocks. All right. Now that we understand that, now we're going to go talk about the fun part. All right. So what I want you to do, first things first, don't want you to see that. All right. I want you to pick a random number.
7.
7. All right. So the random number is 7. So we're going to put the random number there. All right. Now we're going to unblock this. All right. So if the random number does not equal 13, okay, so the new number, random number is 7, right? All right, so if the random number is not 13, then we add 5. So the new number is what? So we equals 13 plus 5, right?
Yes.
No. If it does not equal 13, then add 5 to the random number.
Oh, so it would be 12.
7 plus 5. Right, so now we have 12. Step 1's now been completed. New number is based off of the random number entered. So this is the new number of 12. Now we add the string. So we add 8, 16, 32, 64. So equals this plus 8 equals this plus 16 equals this plus 32, and then equals this plus 64. All right, so the total number is more than 132. So I don't have to repeat, correct? So the total number equals this. That's my total number.
Mm-hmm.
What is my final number? Equals this. No matter what, with this sequence of numbers, it's going to come above 100.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it?
Ah.
All right, so now we're going to put 13 here. So 13, if it equals 13, we subtract 5. So equals, oops. So this equals this minus 5. Now we're at 128. So it's still above the 100. No matter what, we're becoming above the 100, so this doesn't matter, does it?
Mm-hmm.
But what if I put 1? So if it doesn't equal 13, I add. Did I say that it had to be a positive number?
Yeah.
Can we get random numbers that are negative?
Sure.
But we'd really have to program that, wouldn't we? Not really, because right now I said, give me a random number. You could have given me a negative 10.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're going to do, let's put a negative 13. All right, so right here, but look, again, negative 13. But negative 13, it doesn't equal 13. It's less. So we add the 5. Here, instead of subtracting, we add. Right? So it's still above. It's got to be basically, let's go to negative 15. Still above. Negative 20. Negative 25. All right, now, if it's less than 100, so in other words, it's 100, so it stays. So now we're going to go negative 26. Now we're under. Okay? If total is less than 10, repeat. Less than 100, repeat. So now we're going to repeat this, but this is 99. So we add 10 to the 99, right? So total number, we repeat. Okay, let's see. If the total, which is this one, is less than 100, we repeat. Did I say how many steps we repeat? No. So we're missing something in that, right? Because there is a go-to that would be missing, right? What do you think?
I'm not sure.
We are missing something. We don't have all the information there. We repeat what steps? How many of these steps do we repeat? Because based on that, if we repeat, this now is 99. based on what it says. We repeat. Or we can actually go further back to here where give me another random number. I didn't give you what to do. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so now what we're going to do based off of this. Pseudocode. What's the pseudocode going to be?
Start.
Okay.
Pick a random number.
Now, because I'm asking the person, see the difference? Input. Okay. Then what?
Do step 1.
Okay, that was step 1.
Oh.
Oh, wait, we input the random number, which is the step 1 here. Okay. Now we're on step 1 here. See how that plays in? You're not always going to be on the steps. Okay, so, because really, that would be input a random number. Because you notice I didn't say where to get a random number. So we skipped a step. Are you starting to see why you write everything down? Because if I don't write it down, I'm going to skip a step. Okay. So, all right. So we input the random number. Next. So that's our number. Input our number. Because that's what we called it, right? Now, new number is what? So how do we do this? Because remember, is random number, so it's our number, right? Because you're actually giving it, and you have to assign it a name. Is our number what?
Equal, less than 13.
Like that?
I'm not sure.
How do we do the equal then or less than?
I'm not sure.
I just made this number here. That is larger. Because remember, the way I remember it, alligator mouth goes to the largest number.
Okay.
Okay. So this number is now larger than 13. If it does not equal. So to make a not equal, what we do greater than or less than 13.
Gotcha.
Is it greater than or less than? Okay, so that means it doesn't equal 13. All right, so if it is, what?
Add 5.
Now, this needs to be in parentheses, right? So now we add 5. All right. Now, if it's not, now we're going to hit this other one. If it equals 13, if this equals 13, then we're going to subtract 5, right? Correct?
Yes.
Because now that gave us both of them. All right, so next, I've got those both in there. So the new number, is number would be this. See how that's starting to work? So we're going to copy that. Go back to here. So V equals V equals. So new number. Now, the new number, right? So new number equals new number plus that one. Okay, so the name's wrong just because this is Excel and it's trying to make a formula. So we're going to say for this purpose, okay, equals, okay, see how that now works? New number, but what is it that equals? So we're going to say this one. So we take that, Command C, and V equals. See how that's starting to work? Ooh, we don't want it that big. Yeah, we can do it that big. That's fine. All right, now, so the next line would be, we're going to copy this down. All right, now, new number plus what?
Two, the number 2.
No, that's just plus the new number.
Okay.
Equals new, this is the new number plus 8.
Oh, I got you. I see.
New number plus 16. And this becomes a 2. 3, 32, 4, 64, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is now total number, so TOTAL, total number equals added number 4, right? Because I added it plus that. So we're going to equals that, right? So now the total number equals, actually we're going to do this the other way around, because now I want the final number to equal that. Now what? What's the next line? Stop. Okay, see how that works?
Mm-hmm.
That is my pseudocode, correct?
Yes.
All right. Now, we're not writing the coding. Remember that. We're not writing the coding. We're only doing pseudocode, which is I gave it a name plus a command. So the new number equals is our number greater than or less than 13. And that should be if, not is. Typo. Okay. This is why you type all this out and with everything in it, because now I can see my pseudocode. This is it running. But this final number, all right, again, there's no go-tos. All this said, and you know what? What did I skip?
The repeat.
I skipped that step because nowhere does it say it. So where would I add that?
After added total number, new.
So right there.
Yes.
Okay. So theoretically, right here. So that's going to be what?
Total number less than 100.
Okay. So that's going to be if, right?
Yes.
Total number is less than 100. Remember, we have to add these. Then what do I do?
Then repeat.
Plus 10.
Oh, add 10, yeah.
Go to where?
Start.
Ah, remember, we didn't define it. Are you seeing how if you don't write it out, now we're missing a step, and I don't know where I want it to go. This is why we write it out and test the formulas before we start coding. Makes the coding so much easier. All right, now what I'm going to do, rather than repeat, now if I say start over, what do I do?
Add 10 to random number.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Because now I add 10 to this and start over. Now I input a new random number.
Okay.
So that adding 10 just became null and void. It wouldn't matter because I just started it with a clear number again. I cleared it out by going back to input a number. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes.
And I'm writing it out this way so you could actually start to see how it flows. All right, so 10 and go to our number. All right, so go to our number. Well, that is right there, right?
Do you mean the added numbers? The 99?
Right.
Okay.
So right here, now we go back to, we add 10. So by adding 10, I just made this 109. Now we go past that. So right here, we go to this one. Right? So what I forget,
add 10, go to,
if I go to there, remember, we're not actually going to there. What's going to happen now, add 10.
and then would you start add 10 and then plus 8?
Nope. We go back to the new number.
Okay. If it's greater than or less than 13 or equal to 13, add 5.
Yep. Now I take all these and we're going to input them right here. Okay. So we're going to insert 2 here. Down. Okay, so these are all gone. Okay, and we're going to insert 2 here. Okay, and then we're going to go make this back to this. There we go, so everything's consistent again. Notice, now, because I did that, well, this is above, so I have to add 5, right? So equals 109 plus 5. There's my new answer by following that process. This
You need to move the stop. Oh, yeah.
goes back to here. And now we have that loop. But here's something we didn't think about. Wow. Here's something we didn't think about when we did this. Let's take this and go back to here. All right. We're going to take these and we're going to go ahead and go like this too. All right, so what we didn't think about is input, new number, added, if this plus this. Well, how did I get this in here? Remember, that Command C will actually be here. Correct?
Is there a reason why that one's indented?
Yeah, because if I don't indent that, that's putting it on the same one. So in other words, I'm going to do this. New number.
Or that.
Now I'm going to subtract that 5. This is an if-then statement.
Or is it an either or?
If our number is greater than or less than 13.
Okay, then
If not, subtract 5. But if it is, this is going to put the 5 and skip this part to go to here.
okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
And that will be the same here. All right. And there we have it. That's how that works. See how the pseudocode comes together if we put the right steps in there. But if we don't, you're still not going to get your pseudocode right. All right, now that brings me to one other thing. The difference between this and that. Come on. Okay, coding's not gonna, Excel's not going to let me do it. Well, actually it might. Let's do this. Let's go to just text. There we go. So this and this. What's the difference? All right, so this is what, remember, last night I said I'd go over this. What this says, and we're going to use this right here. Actually, no, we're going to use x equals 10 and y equals 20. All right, so, for example, and then z equals 30. All right, so now you see what the equals works out to, right? Correct?
Yes.
What the doubles, for example, open x equals 30 and y equals 20. All right, so the difference between this and this, because these two say that, but now they're separate, okay? This, I just combined them into one. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
This and this have to be equal to the numbers. Excuse me, this should be a 30. That needs to be 30. There we go. All right, this equals, and that's where this comes in, that. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So the x and the y equal this. Where this, it could be x equals y equals 20. Does that make sense in the difference of the two?
Mm-hmm.
It's one that you'll play with down the road. But, all right, so that being said, let's go ahead. And now we are going to do another thing. So that's done. Bye. All right, now we're going to go ahead and go to Illustrator. And we're going to write what we just did. All right, so input our number, right? Correct so far?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what's going to go here?
If the number is equal to or less than.
So if our number equals 13. Right? Whoa, what'd I do with it? Come on. There we go. Go. Okay, so if it equals 13, all right, my triangles are not going to be really good triangles right now. right, and we're going to center it. Center it, right. All right, there we go. That's really tiny, but there we go. All right, so if our number equals 13, what do we do?
Then we add 5 first.
Correct. So plus 5. Well, our number plus 5. Okay, now it's not going back up to here now. Now it's going to go down, right? All right, so now if it goes down, okay, well, if it doesn't, now we subtract 5, right? So that would be here. Correct?
Wasn't it supposed to be if it's equal to or less than?
No, if it's not equal to 13. If it equals 13,
I thought
we
if it was
subtract.
equal to or less than 13, we added 5. If it was
Nope,
great,
if it wasn't equal.
okay.
Now, if it was equal, we subtracted 5. If it was greater than or less than, remember. So that's not equal to, that's greater than or less than. So that means anything under 13 or over 13. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I just thought we had it written a different way.
Yeah, we did. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, no. All right, so now we do this. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to delete this for now. So now, do you remember what those were? What the other numbers? So our number, which is what? Now a new number, correct?
Mm-hmm.
New number.
It was 8, 16, 32.
There, new number. So that's the new number. Okay.
But that still doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry. If it equals 13, so then if it's less than or greater than, okay, I got you. Never mind.
So we're just going to say new number 1, right? Is this plus 5, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right, now, so new number 2 equals new number 1 new number 1 plus 8. Correct?
Yes.
Okay, so now based on that, we're going to go ahead and eliminate this for now. And then this is going to go down. CV. Control V. Think. Okay, so now plus 8. Then this is going to be new number 2. So 3 equals new number 2 plus 16. New number 3 equals new number 2 plus, what was it? 32.
Yeah.
V. And new number 4 equals new number 3 plus 64. All right, so this brings me to what number?
New total number, or total number.
Total. So this is going to come down here. So total number equals new number 4, correct?
Yes.
Okay, now, guess what? Let's do some real quick editing here. File document setup. So we're going to make this height, let's see, 11, width, 8.5. All right. And 0. All right, so now what that does, so that's if this is greater than equals 13, right? If it equals 13, so what am I missing here? I'm missing the word. Now, you could, some people will put yes, some people will just put a Y. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So a Y. And now these, I'm going to move down a little bit more. So V, it's going to go here. And okay, there we go. Now, so this, now, what we could do is we're going to get rid of those. And basically those are going to be right here, correct? The same thing. Because I subtracted it, and now I'm adding those.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So that's where we're at. But now we come to another question. What was that question?
If the number is less than 100.
Okay? So if total number is less than or greater?
Less than 100.
Less than 100.
Add 5.
Okay, but we don't get to there yet. You're a step ahead. Now it helps if I do this number right. There we go. So if it's less than 100, we add 5. Oh, look, we've already got that. Control CV. So that's going to go here. And then where did we go back to?
The plus the new number 1.
Okay, so this comes to here. Control CV. This is going to go to here. I'm going to arrange that, send it to the back. All right. So that goes to what? If it was less than 100, we started over, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this can actually come out. then CV, come to here. And I started all the way over, didn't I? One spot. Another spot I didn't. Another spot, we went to somewhere else, right? Remember, another spot, we went to here instead. Because I didn't totally say it, but let's go ahead and go with this one. All right, so we input our random number again. So now we come down to here. But now, our next step here is final number. Correct? And this is total number. Okay. That one's going to go to there. Now, we will also take this and put this one here. Put it over here. Now, the difference is that's going to go all the way over to there. This is going to go to there. Oops. And this actually go to there. This is going to the back. Whoops. Arrange, send to back. There we go. This one's going to go all the way down to here. And then now, this, we're just going to make it go all the way across so that they connect. And there we have it. But what's missing? I made a mistake. Can you see where that mistake is? Nothing's missing, but I don't have the two steps lining up.
Okay.
Take a look. Let's go to here. See where I made that mistake? And that's how easy it is to make a mistake when you're doing this if you're not totally paying attention. That's when we commit CV. We'll take that. Yes here. Yes here. And the no. To here. And see why just using the N's and the Y's works so much easier on this? And there we have it. All right, so now you've also seen how to fix the errors here, right? And watch the path on that. So we've now done this. We did the pseudocode. We did the chart. Now, if you guys have an easier time doing the chart than the pseudocode, that's fine. Either one will work, okay? Because you're now showing that you're starting to get the idea. This is exactly the same as the pseudocode. The only difference is this is a picture format of it. All right, do you have any questions?
No, it's making sense. It is.
Good. All right, that being said, that's going to go ahead and end class for tonight then. Thank you for coming to class, and thank you guys for watching class. Have a nice evening.
Thanks, Michael.